Welcome to a new session on the course School Organization, Administration and Management. In this topic, we will have a discussion on school complex. School complex programs are taken up to make the maximum use of the human and material resources. There is a need for drastic measures in order to make education capable to meet social, economic and political needs of the country. The educationists have recommended a school of institutional complex by which primary schools, secondary schools and colleges are brought closer to one another to enable them to benefit from each other. What is a school complex? According to Indian Education Commission 1964 to 66, the group of schools built around a secondary school as the minimum viable unit of educational reform is termed as school complex. The Commission further says it is possible to provide certain facilities and equipment which cannot be provided separately to each school, jointly for all schools in a complex. A school complex is a cluster of schools. It is a group of neighborhood schools comprising a number of primary, upper primary, secondary schools and one or more senior secondary schools which function together in an integrated way as one educational unit. These are well knit schools and they function as one cooperative group for raising the quality of education. The member schools plan their activities in such a way as to give help and receive help from the sister institutions grouped together in one school complex. The teachers working in the senior and junior schools of the locality can join hands and work together to pool their ideas, efforts and resources for improving the quality of education. A school complex provides for organizing subject committee meetings, preparation of teaching aids, inter-school competitions and visits, sharing of library books, laboratory facilities and games materials, organizing of refresher courses for the professional growth of teachers and planning evaluation programs collectively. We shall now discuss the aims and objectives of a school complex. Teaching, training and learning takes place both in formal and non-formal situations, enriching the nation's human resources for individual well-being and social progress. But the material resources for the improvement of education in India are very much limited. It is therefore very difficult to establish well-equipped schools. It is felt that the implementation of school complex can help us to solve this problem to a great extent. The Kothari Commission recommended to implement this program of school complex for certain reasons like 1. Breaking the isolation. A school complex aims at breaking the isolation that exists between one school and the other. They will come closer to work for the common cause. Second is collective effort. It will promote joint and cooperative effort among all the functionaries working in these schools. There will be exchange of experiences to prepare common workable policies. The third is sharing of resources. It will make possible sharing of available resources and make their best possible use. Fourth, solving problems. Common problems will be more effectively tackled through the joint efforts of a school complex. The fifth is common planning. It provides assistance and opportunity for common and comprehensive planning for the overall functioning of member schools. Sixth, educational standards. A school complex can make serious efforts for improving the educational standards of the schools belonging to it. Seventh is guidance. Finally, a school complex is a source of guidance for the constituent schools in the use of better methods of teaching, undertaking projects, organizing co-curricular activities and in institutional planning. The characteristics of school complex. The first is neighborhood. School complex consists of a number of neighborhood schools in which some primary, secondary and one or more senior schools are grouped together. Second, unit for educational reform. School complex can be understood as a compact unit of educational reform or development. These neighborhood schools join hands and function for raising the quality of education. The teachers benefit through the exchange of ideas and discussion. The senior school functions as a source of inspiration and enlightenment for the junior schools. Any good school in the complex becomes a model for all others. The complex ensures pooling of resources for common good and for raising the quality of education. Third is cooperation. It brings many institutions and their teachers on a common platform. There is a meaningful cooperation between primary, secondary and senior secondary schools of the area. Instead of working in isolation, they learn to work in cooperation. Fourth is a solution of problems. There may be common problems faced by the schools of an area which demand collective effort on the part of all of them. The pivotal school can arrange for identifying the problems and their causes and recommend similar solutions. Fifth is guidance. In a complex, the head of the nucleus school acts as a competent guide for all the member schools. He or she is in a better position to watch the situation as a whole and provide suitable guidelines. Sixth is better teaching and evaluation. School complex will be a manageable unit for trying and introducing better methods of teaching and evaluation. The teachers can come together to work out an improved approach in their activities. Seventh, unit of promotion. The complex can also be treated as a unit to work out the norms of promoting the students from lower to the next higher class. Eighth, complex committee. The complex can set up a coordinating committee under the chairmanship of the head of the nucleus school. The heads of the remaining schools will be the members of this committee. Ninth, departmental tasks. It can also set up a joint channel to look after departmental tasks on behalf of all the member schools. This will reduce the amount of botheration and correspondence for each one of them. 10th, 3-tier setup. The complex will have a well-knit 3-tier setup which I will be explained now. 3-tier structure of a school complex. The school complex will be organized through a 3-tier setup for establishing link between the institutions of various levels. The first tier. In the first or the lowest tier, each middle school will be integrally related to 8 to 10 primary schools of the neighborhood. In this first tier complex of the main complex, the middle schools will be the pivotal and central schools to give academic guidance to the neighboring primary schools. The head of the middle school will provide professional and academic leadership to the heads and teachers of the primary schools under his or her charge. He or she has to ensure qualitative improvement in these schools. The second tier. In the second tier, all the middle schools in a particular area will be related to one high school in the neighborhood. The high school will be the pivotal school of this cluster of middle schools and will ensure quality education in all of them. The third tier. In the third tier, all high schools in a particular locality may be associated with a neighboring senior secondary school, junior college, degree college, college of education, State Institute of Education, as the case may be. All the three tiers will work simultaneously at their own level and also in an integrated manner. All these tiers will form one complex of institutional facilities. Functions of a school complex. The objectives of introducing the school complex will be fulfilled only when the organization functions successfully. For its successful functioning, the members of the committee, the district educational officer and the inspector of schools should help in making the system more elastic and dynamic. If the system is to function effectively and successfully, adequate powers and responsibilities will have to be delegated to the complex, and this includes 1. Providing academic guidance. A school complex can discover experts from among its teachers and headmasters and harness their services for providing academic guidance to the member schools in these areas like teaching. It is a source for guidance towards better methods of teaching. The subject committees can be formed in each one of the subjects to perform activities like division of syllabus for the preparation of unit plan, preparation, collection and maintenance of audiovisual aids for the entire complex, discussion on new methods of teaching and other innovations in teaching, giving model lessons for the benefit of subject teachers, supervision of lessons by more competent senior teachers, supervising the diaries of teachers, preparation of model lesson plans, providing supplementary reading materials, making collective arrangements for remedial teaching in the case of slow learners and backward students, organizing team teaching, arranging special talks on the topics of common interest, planning and executing projects, providing guidelines in the setting up of question papers, question banks and actual conduct of examinations, and arranging complex level academic competitions for both students and teachers. Next is co-curricular activities. The school complex will provide guidance in the co-curricular activities like inter-school friendly matches, inter-school tournaments, inter-school competitions in debates, poetry, singing, etc., tours and excursions, first aid in the member schools, exchange of good organizers of various co-curricular activities, sharing of materials, facilities, playgrounds, auditorium, etc. Next comes school improvement projects. A school complex can create in it a cell for suggesting improvements in projects for each member school. Second is providing equipment. Arrangement and exchange of equipment is the second most important function of a school complex. The better equipped school may be in a position to lend material to the other needy schools. Some of the items of equipment which can be borrowed and shared are: the better stocked library of the central school may be used by member schools and books can be lent by each one of the schools to other schools. The nucleus school or any other school may lend teaching aids, laboratory equipment, maps, models, tape recorder, television and other audiovisual equipment and furniture to the member schools on special occasions. The sports materials can also be shared by schools. The materials for dramatics can also be shared. The playground of the bigger school can also be used by other schools for sports day and tournaments. Some of the schools can spare funds and purchase costly materials to be used commonly by all schools. Third is a supervisory role. The head of the nucleus school, heads of the member schools and senior teachers of various subjects can constitute a supervisory team to supervise the instructional work organizational work and other activities of the constituent schools and give their suggestions for improvement. This team can take care of the follow-up work also. Fourth is the evaluation function. The school complex will ensure improvement in the evaluation work of the member schools also. Subject-wise committees may be set up to prepare better question papers, prepare and maintain cumulative record cards, and to introduce innovations in the evaluation programs. Fifth is in-service training. It will also look after the in-service training, professional growth and updating of the teachers. And for this purpose, it can maintain a central circulating library for the teachers. It can also arrange periodical meetings for teachers for discussion and exchange of experiences. Some talks, demonstration lessons and paper reading can also be arranged. During long vacations, some special orientation courses may be held to meet their requirements in respect of new techniques of teaching and new additions to the body of knowledge. Audiovisual aids can also be prepared by a group of teachers jointly as part of their in-service training. Sixth is imparting educational information. The nuclear school may serve as a clearing house for expertise, educational information, latest educational literature, educational data, educational news and trends in education. An average teacher does not enjoy access to these items of information on their own. Only a central body with better resources can acquire such valuable information for them. Seventh is institutional planning. The nucleus school with the cooperation of member schools will draw up and get executed institutional plans for every member school. A master plan may be prepared by it as a design. Each institution should be guided and motivated to draft its own plan with respect to curricular, co-curricular and developmental activities. Eighth is the administrative functions. The nucleus school has to discharge some administrative functions also. If it is a school complex consisting of government schools, then the pivotal school may perform financial and other administrative functions on behalf of the department. Even the local adjustment of curricula, timetable, examinations, etc. may be made through the school. It may provide leave substitute for the teachers in the member schools. It may also look after the correspondence, grant in aid, other financial aid, scholarship, etc. Advantages of a school complex. 1. Better utilization of resources. The available resources find a wider use. The services of good and inspiring teachers can be utilized by other schools also. Similarly, a single piece of infrequently usable equipment can be availed of by all the schools. Second is the professional growth of teachers. The teachers, by natural exchange of ideas and experiences, provide opportunity of professional growth to themselves. The central school can organize seminars and orientation courses for member teachers. Third is the improvement in teaching and evaluation. The standards of teaching and evaluation are qualitatively improved by mutual consultation, planning, experimentation and follow-up. Fourth is the breaking of isolation. A school complex helps in breaking the isolation among schools. It promotes collaboration and interdependence. The schools can join hands for improvement in their programs and practices. Fifth is the assistance of external agencies. The school complex will be in a better position to get the assistance of external agencies for the benefit of a large number of teachers and students. Distinguished persons and experts can be invited. Specialists in various subjects and activities will disseminate their views and experiences for the benefit of member teachers and students. Books can be borrowed from district level and state level libraries for circulation among member schools. Sixth is the better administrative control. Better administrative control and supervision can be ensured when a higher school of the area is made in charge of the lower level schools of the neighborhood. Seventh is improved performance. Local or neighborhood supervision requires the teachers to work with great zeal and responsibility. It results in improvement in their performance. Moreover, professional guidance and inspiration is available at the doorstep, which further improves the performance in general. Eighth is wider resources. The school complex with its wider and richer resources is in a better position for trying out and evaluating new curricula, textbooks, methods, techniques and aids. Ninth is economy. A school complex tries to achieve qualitative improvement in the member schools by harnessing the sharing existing resources and without making any additional investment. Various types of material resources and personnel can be pooled together for common use. We shall now see some of the disadvantages of school complex. 1. Greater load of work. Effective functioning of school complex would necessitate a greater involvement of the heads of the schools, senior teachers, competent teachers and even average teachers. Apart from one's own quota of work, every functionary will be required to share many joint responsibilities and common assignments. Second is inferiority feeling. The system of hierarchy may cause a feeling of inferiority among junior teachers as well as heads and teachers of lower level schools. Third is a neglect of normal duties. The teachers may get preoccupied with the school complex programs, resulting in the neglect of other duties of their duties and responsibilities towards their own students. Fourth is incompetent teachers as guides. By virtue of their status, every teacher of a nuclear school will be required to act as a model and guide for the junior teachers of the school complex. But every such teacher may not be really capable and competent to act as an expert. Fifth, no gain for some teachers. The teachers of senior schools may only be assisting others all the time while getting no benefit for themselves by participating in school complex programs. Sixth is a curbing of initiative. The initiative of a lower level school may remain curbed if the nuclear school tries to impose its suggestions and decisions on the member schools. Seventh, burden on the student. The student may be overburdened with a large number of joint responsibilities and activities. We shall now see the future of school complex. The school complexes have been given trial at many places in different parts of the country, and these complexes were initiated after the report of Kothari Commission of 1966. The school complexes work according to the local conditions and initiatives of local teachers. The running of such complexes requires sound planning, persistent efforts, patience, careful implementation of planned programs and problem solving approach. Many of these complexes continue to work in spite of various challenges, but some of them stopped functioning due to various administrative difficulties and lack of understanding among the heads of participating schools. Many a times, school complexes failed as the head of the nuclear school could not create a sense of confidence and a need of mutual give and take among the heads concerned. At the same time, in several states of our country, the school complexes are functioning to the liking and satisfaction of many teachers and administrators. It can be hoped with confidence that school complexes will play a greater role in improving the quality of education in the days to come. The concerned authorities should provide necessary incentives and guidelines to more and more schools to form themselves into school complexes. Let us now summarize some of the important points we have just discussed. Education can make its own contribution to the development of the individual as well as the well-being of society only when we can establish a face-to-face relationship between different schools within easily accessible distances. This can be done only when we develop all schools as a complex. School complex is a plan for making the maximum use of the human and material resources available in an area for the benefit of all students of the area. This complex creates the possibility of exchange of materials and know-how. The main purpose of this complex scheme is to bring about qualitative improvement of education through ensuring cooperation between primary, secondary and senior secondary schools. Development of one school will lead to the development of another school in a particular area. Thus, all the schools of one particular area can be integrally linked together. This linking of schools is known as a school complex. Thank you for watching the session on school complex. See you again with a new topic. Till then, good day.